With ZANI right around the corner, we're all dying to get our hands and meat all over ZANI. So in today's video, we're going to break down everything you need to know for this character. We're going to talk about her best echoes, substats, weapons, teammates, and a lot more. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you my personal ZANI build that, dare I say, is insane right now. So let's hop right onto the video. Alright, let's kick things off with the materials, and first off we gotta talk about the polygon core and the cadence. You need a lot of these, so do be sure to get to farming. You got the exact numbers of them right here on screen. You're going to need 2.2 million shell credits, like always, and you want to make sure you start farming your netherworld stairs. As you know, we have a limited amount of these every week. You still have plenty of time before she drops, so go ahead and get these out of the way. You're going to need 26 of these. You're going to need seaside centralies. These are going to be pretty easy to get, so go out of your way and start farming these. And you do need platinum core, so go ahead and get these as well. You need 46 of these, and this is the best time to start farming all of these because we still have about 2 weeks before we see our brand new queen. Now, I know that saying you need all these materials might be a little overwhelming. Well, I'm going to link this page in the description of the video, but you can come right here and check exactly how many materials you need for each one of the levels. And if you scroll down on this page, you will see that you can also check the skill attributes and stat enhancements you will be getting as you level up your skills. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, you will see that they have a calculator, so you know exactly how many resources you need to take them to very specific character levels, their skills to very specific levels. And as you can see right here, we're taking level 7 and level 70 for your character as a base formula because that's the most common place most people will be at. And as you can see right here, it tells you exactly how many things you need. And you can bring this all the way up to level 90, which is max character level currently. And it'll tell you exactly how many materials you need. And that's pretty much it. I wanted to add this here so people have ease of mind and they know exactly how many materials they need depending on the level they are. Moving over to the weapons, like every single limited character, ZANI's best in slot weapon is going to be her signature weapon, Blazing Justice. This weapon offers 48.6% crit damage and it increases attack by 12%, and casting Resonance Liberation grants the following effects. Dealing damage ignores 8% of the target's defense and amplifies Spectral Frazzle damage dealt by 50% for 14 seconds. Overall, it's a very good weapon for ZANI, and it's very specific to her kit. Nonetheless, there are going to be other options. Her second best in slot options are going to be Variety's Handle and Tragic Comedy. Both of these weapons are limited character weapons, and if you happen to not have these weapons, you can go for the budget option, Abyss Surges. Nonetheless, all of these weapons are going to be very good for ZANI. It just really depends what you're trying to do with her, but her main weapon, her signature weapon, is going to be quite a bit ahead of all the other options. Alright, let's move on over to the team comps, and I just want to clear something up. Top picks are by no means that much better than third picks. The only reason that I have them right here is because of importance of the characters. And as we know, Verena or Shorekeeper pretty much go on almost every single team. That's why they're the third picks, because you're always going to pick them, but you're going to want to pick them last depending on the rest of your team. Now, moving over to the first pick, Phoebe. Phoebe is going to be ZANI's best in slot partner because she's so good at applying Spectral Frazzle, which is going to be very good for ZANI's damage output. So if you have Phoebe, you want to make sure you run her with ZANI, and you want to run her as a sub DPS / support for your ZANI. Now, after this, we have Spectral Rover. I want to make this clear. Spectral Rover is still a very solid option for ZANI. You just got to make sure you build your Spectral Rover as a unit that's going to be supporting your ZANI. It's still going to be a really good character. It's still going to be very good, and you can get your ZANI rotations to work really well with your Spectral Rover. For your third picks, you have Verena, Shorekeeper, which pretty much go on every single team. These characters are going to enable more damage and a little bit of healing. And we have Mortefi, because Mortefi buffs heavy attack, and that's part of ZANI's main kit. Now, there's another character that I didn't want to talk too much about in here because we're going even deeper into spoilers, but I just want to let you know that Siakona, the upcoming character, is also going to be one of the top picks or second best picks for ZANI. It's going to be very good, and yes, it does apply Spectral Frazzle, but that's as much as I'm going to tell you regarding Siakona. Moving over to ZANI's echoes, I gotta be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, you can go ahead and build her with Eternal Radiance or Celestial Light. Nonetheless, Eternal Radiance, from what we see, is going to be her best in slot build. I want to make sure you guys know some things in particular regarding Eternal Radiance. For her 4 cost, you want to make sure you get the Nightmare Morning Aches. For the 3 cost, you want to make sure you get the ones options here. And for the 1 cost, here are our options. Now, I want to make sure you guys know this in particular. Her best active echo is not a 4 cost echo. It's going to be Capitanus, as you could see him right here under the 3 cost echoes, because not only is it going to increase spectral damage, but it's also going to increase heavy attack damage when it's your active echo. So you want to make sure that when you build ZANI, you go out and farm yourself some Capitanias and get him as strong as possible and use him as your active echo. If you go for Celestial Light, you just go for the regular builds that you always do. But once again, from what we're seeing, Eternal Radiance is going to be the best in slot echo set for ZANI. Talking about the echo stats, this is very important, guys. For her 4 cost, you want to go for crit rate and crit damage. For her 3 cost, you want to go for attack percentage or spectral damage percentage. And for your 1 cost, you want to go for attack percentage. For the substats, crit rate, crit damage, heavy attack is very important, and attack percentage. Now, I want to clarify some things. Crit rate or crit damage really depends on what you're doing with your ZANI. If you're going for her S2 dupe, you can go ahead and get crit damage. If you're running Eternal Radiance, you can also probably get crit damage if you get some really nice crit rate rolls on your echoes. Now, if you're not going for Eternal Radiance, or you're not getting her S2 dupe, you definitely want to go for your crit rate 4 cost. But that's really it regarding her echo stats. This is going to be her bread and butter, and getting that heavy attack on your substats is going to be amazing for her build. And adding in a brand new segment to the video is going to be my character builds. Now, the reason that I'm doing this is because a lot of you guys tune into the live streams and ask me how my character is looking, how my echoes are looking, and this is why I'm adding this particular part of the video. But if you guys want to tune in to the live streams and check out how we farm for these echoes live, or maybe join me on my farm session, you're more than welcome to do so. And be sure to stop by the Discord. We often theory craft and pre-farm with all our community and get our characters straight before they even drop. But without that out the way, let's talk about my ZANI build. Here is what we got going on right now. And I want to tell you, if you want to see how your ZANI build is coming along, go ahead and equip your Shangli with ZANI's echoes. The reason for this is because they're pretty much identical when it comes to their forte, their weapon stats, and all that good stuff. So let's talk about it. We're currently sitting at 2.2k attack, 117 energy regen, 67% crit rate, and 321% crit damage, along with 32.3% resonant skill damage bonus and 50.2% heavy attack damage bonus. Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly the type of ZANI build you're trying to look at. Now, I do not have any liberation or basic attack damage bonus, but that's an extra. If you got some of that in your pocket, even better. But ideally, you really want to get your heavy attack damage bonus up. You want to get your crit rate up. You want to get your crit damage and your attack. Now, I do want to point out, this is without the Eternal Radiance buff active, which would then put me at 87% crit rate. And if you're running her with Shorekeeper, well, we're looking at almost 100% crit rate with over 240 crit damage. An insane character build right now, and I will be showcasing this when she goes live on stream, not only at S0R1, but we are going to be taking ZANI to S6R5. So do be sure to tune on in. If you've enjoyed the video, you guys know what to do. Now, there is one more thing I want to show you guys, and this is how to go about getting extra resources so you can speed up your character's leveling. And the first place we're going to go to is Uncle Way. If you go over to Uncle Way, you will see that he sells several materials that are going to help you leveling up your characters, as you can see right here. And this is going to make everything so much easier. It might not be a whole bunch of them, but if you go out of your way, you can go ahead and buy yourself several of these items. And even if they're in the lower rarity, you will still use these and they will help you out a ton. So let's go ahead and buy some of these just to start getting ourselves set up. Our next stop where you can get some materials and make your grind a lot easier is going to be the Shi Fang Pharmacy. If you go over here and you talk to Coco, you will see that she sells a bunch of resources that you're going to need in order to level up your characters. So do be sure to come over here and talk to her in order to make your grind a lot easier. Our next stop is going to be the Point Shop. And over here you can buy a bunch of resources, as you can see, but if you go down to the bottom, you can also buy level up resources, and you can get quite a few of them. 60 of each to be precise. So you want to make sure you go out here and get these as soon as possible, especially because they're so cheap, and we have a whole bunch of these points that we can use in order to get these resources. And last but not least, we're gonna go to the Tiger's Maw ore shop and talk to Shilang. And this dude right here is going to sell us some materials as well. Now, these materials do not refresh, or at least they haven't refreshed since the start of the game. But as you can see, you can get some nice little resources that are going to help you out leveling up your character. Another place you can come get some materials is the Still Wind Sundries. You're going to come talk to Vida right here. And as you can see, she has a bunch of materials that you're going to be able to use to level up your characters. So do be sure you're getting some of these materials. Now, if you're trying to get yourself some of the materials you need, you can come to the pharmacy store and talk to Rosemary, the NPC that does not look like an NPC. And she's going to give you some of the flowers you need in order to level up your characters. As you can see right here, there's going to be quite a big assortment of materials that you're going to be able to buy from her, and they're going to help you out a ton. So do be sure to go ahead and do that. And that's everything there is to know regarding ZANI, ladies and gentlemen. So do be sure to get your wallets, your astrite, and your meat ready for when this character drops, because it is going down. I just want to remind y'all, we're doing a bunch of giveaways for Lunite subscription, battle passes, and a little bit of gift cards when this character drops. All you gotta do is hit that like button, subscribe, and comment on the videos until she drops, as I will be picking winners almost every day from these videos. For now, do be sure to join our Discord for a chance to chat it up with our community, theory craft, and build your characters, have some fun, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.